Okay, let's make this part in Autodesk Inventor. We'll begin by making the square in the front. So two-dimensional sketch right here. Make a center rectangle right there. And it looks like the size of that would be, let's take a look at it. What would be a good size for that? Looks like if we made it 4, that would probably be good. 4 inches. And then we put a 3-inch diameter circle in the middle. And we can zoom back. And we can center the part. We can type in 3 right there for a shortcut. And it looks like we can go ahead and extrude that. So let's go ahead and extrude it a thickness of 1 inch. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go to Model, Extrude, right here. And the window that pops up is that one. Get the zoom back, and then begin making these other shapes that are around the outside. So that one right there, and this one right here. All right, so let's just make a rectangle on this surface. So new, and just a rectangle, probably just corner to corner like this. And what we could do is actually go beyond because we know a couple of things about these distances. I guess, let's see. Number one, this circle needs to go through the origin. So that would be a good thing. We also know the dimension from here to here, according to the diagram, let me check out here, 0.75, okay? Okay, and we also need to raise this 0.75 as well. Now, I'm assuming that the way the diagram is set up, that this line right here goes right through the origin. So we'll do the same thing on ours over here. So let's see, this is going to be lining up with the origin. So maybe we can say coincident with those two. All right, now let's go over here for a different look and go ahead and raise that up by 0.75, just like that, and also like that as well, of course. And we're going to come over here and do the rest of it, new sketch. And we can make this rectangular shape go from right here all the way out to there. Should be fully defined when you do that. Going back to this view, you can go ahead and extrude that out, 0.75. Then we can also do our arcs and circles. So let's see how we want to do that. Probably just want to go in here and we want to make a circle that's 1/2 inch in diameter. So new sketch. We're going to draw on this surface here. So one of the circles is going to pop right here in the middle, and that one's going to be 0.5. Another circle is going to be for the outside of this, and that's going to need to be, let's see, what is the thickness of that? 1 inch. So it's going to line up right there. And so this is going to allow you just to say, extrude this one thing that's right there. And that's part of it. Then you hit plus. Then what you can do is go down over here where this other thing is. If you can get to it. I don't know if it's going to let us get there. Yeah, it's not going to work. Okay, so I guess what we can do is just do it the hard way, make another sketch and do another circle on top. That's one way. And again, this one was 0.5. And you say punch that one all the way through. So we're gonna, well, not all the way through, but we need to go down a depth of 0.75. Right, and we're picking that shape right there, and we're good. Now let's try this other one in a slightly different way. And that would be to draw the, let's see, how could we do that? That would be different. What if we drew on this surface instead? And I'll show you this other thing that I was trying to pull off. One of them is like this, and we need to go 0.5. And the other one goes here, and I believe it goes to 1 inch. All right, so watch this right here. What you can do is go to extrude, And let's go ahead and do our cut first of all for that. I was trying to pull it up, but we want to push that down. Let's make sure it looks right. Yep. And then you say plus, and you want this other ring right here to go down, and you want it to be solid. So that's what I was trying to do with the other one. All right, let's face this product here. It looks good. All right, so now we got to start working on our variables. So one of the variables right here is A, and that's going to drive all of these other ones. So let's set that up set that up so that that is A. Okay. So let's go over here to this sketch right here. And let's see, I think it's this one right here that we want. It's the vertical height. And what we can do is just edit the sketch like that. Move this to the other side. Okay, now because we want this to be symmetric, so that when we change this 4 right here, we want this one to go to 4 as well. So you delete that and you say, let's make this one, is that equals right there? Yeah. Make this and this equal to each other. Then we're going to double click on this one and we're going to see that this was called D1. All right, now let's go look at the other dimensions and we'll move through them alphabetically. So B is just going to be 3/4 of that. And so you can see B is going to be the diameter of the circle in the middle. So then go right here, and then you just say, click on that one right there, times 3 divided by 4. Okay, and then you can just click OK to make sure everything works out. And you can even go in here to manage and parameters. And oh man, it's got a lot of parameters there. But all we really need is this D1. Let's see if we can change that to 5, see what happens. And it looks like it did well, keeping it square as you're going through there. All right, let's go back to 4 as it was, because we were just checking on it. And let's do some other ones. And we got to remember that before we upload it, we have to make A equals 8. Let's go over here to the letter C. It's going to be 1/8 of the value of A. This is going to take a little work because we're going to have to find all those circles that are involved. So let's see if we can find one of them. All right, so let's go right here, edit sketch. All right, now if we zoom in, this one right here is going to have to be D1 divided by 8. Okay, I think that's right. And it's still the same size, which is a good call. And then what we want to do is go ahead and finish that one, and then go over to this other one, see if we can find the sketch for that one. Okay, that's this one. That's this one. And what about this one? Okay, that's it. And then go edit, sketch. And this one right here, we have to say is going to be D1 divided by 8. Now, I wonder if I had another one in there that I forgot about. Because I did it twice. Yeah, it looks like I did it twice. So I'll have to come in here and edit the sketch. So if you did it twice like I did, you'll have to come in here and say this other circle is also D1 divided by 8. Now let's make sure everything looks good. So let's go in here to our parameters. And we'll type in 8. And it says that there's some errors associated with that. Not really sure why yet. Let's see. We just said 5. That's not a problem. We said 6. I must have typed in a strange character. 6. Oh yeah, looks like I also need to add some more parameters. Otherwise, this one's going to get too big for the other one. So let's move it back to 4 because we're not really done with the other parameters here. So we have to get the width of this D, and that's going to be A divided by 4. So where you want to look for the word where the word extrude is, or where the first extrude is, I guess. I think it's this one right here. Edit. Let's see. Is it edit sketch or edit feature? Okay, now let's see if it'll let us do this one. We need to do D1 divided by 4. Okay, looks like it worked okay. Not so sure we got all of them yet, so we'll come back to that in a minute. And then also we have E, which is also divided by 8. Oh, I've already done that one though by accident because I got ahead of myself on that. All right, let's go in here and change some things. And go down here to 8. And it says that there is an error in the update. Let's see why. I think I know why. I think it's because this thickness over here is not being maintained. So if we go to 6, yeah, you see that little thing overhang right there? That's not right. So we got to get these to line up with each other. Um, so it looks like the thickness of one of them lined up and the other ones. Let's see. So this one right here should have been locked in. Okay. Yeah, and this line right here did not go over to there as well. So that's another issue. So let me pause the video and fix that. All right. Instead of me doing that behind the scenes, let me do it out here so I can show you what I'm talking about here. You notice that the diameter of this right here, of that arc, it should be the whole thing like that, but it's not. So what we'll do is we'll go in there and edit that one. So we're gonna have to find one of these at a time just because of the way that we built this. Now this one looks great if I did that. But you can see over here, it's got a little issue. So let's go down here and find that one, edit this sketch right here. And we want this outer sketch right here. Okay, we want it to be D1 divided by 4. And then if we click OK on that one, you'll see that that one gets fixed back like it was supposed to be. So then we just kind of have to go through and debug them and figure out which ones are which. Now, the reason I knew that one was a diameter of D is because it's right here. Not only is it the thickness of this, it's the thickness of that. It's the diameter of that circle and the diameter of that circle as well. So let's make sure all of that's in place. We can go over here to this one, I guess, this sketch right here. What is that going to be? Right up here somewhere? Yep, there it is. Maybe this one. Okay, it's going to be this one. So I'm going to say edit the sketch, and we're going to change where it says 1 edge. Move this around like that. Double click maybe. And we're going to say that, let's see, double click on this one. It needs to be D1, and it needs to be divided by something, right? D1, which is A, and then we need to divide that by, that's the value of D, so we'll just divide by 4. All right, you see that clicked into position, and we see this one kind of fell out of favor as well because it should be C, which is, I set it as a constant 0.5 right now, but it needs to be A divided by 8. So double click here, D1 divided by 8. Okay, then we click finish, go back to the home position. Does everything look good? No, we still have this outlier. So that means we need to go work on this one and make sure that it syncs up to the right location. So let's go ahead and edit this one right here. Okay, now what should have happened is this should have been collinear with that. So then let's put collinear. This needs to always stay in line with that. So it wasn't fully defined previously. That was my issue. There it is. So let's go back and change everything back to where it was before. We want to go to our uh, parameters, type in 4 to make sure it looks right, then type in 8 to make sure it looks right. Okay, hope that helps everybody. It looks like it's now symmetrically growing with size. All right, let me know if I can help further.